Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another one of the podcast, the XY Spark podcast. Welcome to our show. This is your show where we seek to normalize conversations about men's mental health. This is your boy, your coach, Rolando. I hope that you guys have been having a fantastic week so far. Here in northern Alberta rather, our temperature is, we're experiencing a cool minus 25 with the wind chill feeling like minus 30 or so. We hope you're having warmer weather where you are located. Welcome to the show. Yesterday here in Canada, we had a start holiday. So for those of you who might have signed in at 5:30 and you did not see me, I took the liberty of taking an extra snooze, but I'm back. I'm back, guys, and we're happy to have you here. Just wanted to say that our podcast, my friends, our podcast, we can find our podcast live here every weekday morning at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. You also can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right now, we're live on YouTube at XY Spark. You find us also on the Podbean app at xyspark.podbean.com. And you can also go and find us on Spotify, on Amazon, on iHeartRadio. Also, I want to welcome those who are joining us live on TikTok. If you're joining us here on TikTok, we appreciate you. I see someone there from Alberta. Hey, good to have you. We want to send, oh, they are enjoying the cold. Oh, yes. So I have company. It's great to have you being here. And we also want you guys to know that right here on the podcast, we do offer life coaching right here in the moment. So if there is something that's going on that you'd like us to chat about, we want to invite you to come into the space and let's talk because our goal and our aim is to create a safe space for men to talk about their mental health and to seek to come up with solutions that can help us to have a better mindset and to have healthier relationships. So, welcome to the podcast. Today, we're talking about a very, very interesting topic. Our topic today is an entitlement versus a winning mindset. Entitlement versus willing mindset. Now, guys, this is a very delicate topic. Why? Because sometimes some of us as men, we are struggling with our mental health because we have an entitlement mindset. Many of us as men, we are living our lives the way we are because we have an entitled mindset. And sometimes we find it more frequently happening in those who are from homes where they are a single child or in homes where they have parents who thought it was not okay for their child to ever hear the word no or wait, right? So we are going to look at an entitlement mentality versus a winning mindset. Now, we want to establish one thing. What is entitlement? What is entitlement? Entitlement, the sense of entitlement, is a personality trait. And get this, it's a personality trait, guys, that is based on a person's belief that they deserve privileges. All right, catch this, that they deserve privileges or recognition for things that they did not earn. Let me reiterate that. An entitlement mindset, an entitlement mentality, catch this, guys, is a person's belief or a personality trait, right? Where they believe that, they should, and catch this, that they should have privileges and get recognition for things that they did not earn. So people who are entitled, They oftentimes go around and they believe that the world owes them something in exchange for nothing, right? And I find that this happens a lot in a lot of us as men. And listen to me, guys, I want to say this to you. If you are too entitled, you are going to constantly struggle. If you're too entitled, you're going to walk around feeling like the world owes you a favor. And sometimes the thing that you've got to ask is, what am I giving? Why do I feel or believe that I deserve to be getting everything I want when I want it, no matter what? And this is the reason why sometimes as men, we are not meeting our goals. We are not, dealing with issues in a healthy way because we grew up in this space where we're entitled. Now, I'm going to call out some parents now, and I'm going to call out some of the men who are here because some of us as men, we grew up in homes where we would get everything we want all the time. We had parents who raised us with the mentality that we should never be in a space where we don't get what we want when we want it. And oftentimes it happens with men who grew up in single homes or men who grew up in families who were more affluent, and these parents grew their children to think that, hey, the way to go is, once I always give you everything you want as soon as you ask for it. That's how real life is. Guys, let me tell you this, real life does not operate like that. And the thing that we have to learn more as men is that when you face challenges, you want to consider this and ask yourself this question: am I behaving the way I'm behaving because I feel entitled? Is my attitude as a result of an entitlement mentality? Is my attitude being displayed because I grew up as a child that was spoiled? I was spoiled by my mom. I was spoiled by my dad. And now I'm expecting that the world should spoil me and continue to spoil me. So when things don't work out the way I think it should, all of a sudden I lose my mind. Did you grow up like that? If you grew up like that, it helps to create an entitlement mentality. And that's not a winning mindset. A winning mindset, a man who has a winning mindset, when challenges comes his way, he's able to relate and react to it in a mature, positive way. He does not fall, he does not, become too, fickle or faint, but he sees those challenges as healthy, as a way to develop a healthier, more transformative approach to problem solving and dealing with things that will happen to him in this life. So, an entitlement mentality, a man who is living his life entitled, he sees challenges as something that should not come his way. Men who have a mindset that is entitled believes that life is always going to be on a smooth plane. He fears when life brings those speed bumps. He fears when life, throws boulders at him because because his mind is entitled, he starts to say things like, why me? He starts to think the world hates me. He starts to think, hey, everybody's against me. He starts to think no one likes me. And so he starts to hurt himself. He starts to make unhealthy decisions. He starts doing things that is causing his relationships to sink deeper into the depths of destruction, right? People who have an entitlement mentality, men who have an entitlement mentality, they like to compare themselves with others. Have you been doing that? Guys, have you been doing that? Men who have an entitlement mentality, they like to compare themselves to others, right? Because the sense of entitlement make them feel like, hey, I should be or I shouldn't, right? But if you have a winning mindset, you will learn more how to celebrate and embrace who you are. right? You will celebrate your authentic self. You will get to know who you are as a person. So a man who has an entitlement mentality, he's always competing with somebody else and comparing himself with somebody else. And a winning mindset now will take your focus away from the comparison to goal setting, right? That's the difference between a winning mindset and an entitlement mindset. You turn your attention from comparing yourself to somebody else to what? Creating and identifying goals. A man who has an entitlement mindset, right? He may more benefit, right? And learn more how to not be discouraged when he has temporary setbacks. You see, a man who has an entitlement mindset sometimes look at his situation as permanent when it's temporary, right? And understanding that, hey, I'm going through a situation right now, it's not permanent, it's temporary. And as you're able to confront that belief that, I'm in this is the worst day of my life, I've had the worst 5 years of my life, this is the worst I've ever been, I'll never be able to recover from this, and we're using words that are self-destructive and self-defeating, we end up harming ourselves more. An entitlement mentality turns the attention away from, hey, this is permanent, it will never be over, to, hey, this is just temporary. This is a temporary setback, right? So he starts using that experience as a stepping stone. And if you live your life as a man where you continue to believe that life should always be hunky dory, I'm going to shock you right now. That's not realistic. You're setting yourself up for failure. And we have got to learn that as men, if we live our lives in that scope of, hey, I'm entitled, everything should always go my way all the time, we have to understand this, that a winning mindset has balance. A winning mindset is able to look at an event or at a situation that is happening in your life, and you're able to say, hey, this thing is really feeling overwhelming right now. So I've got to buckle up. And that's a problem that we have as men. We don't like to work hard on ourselves. We'll work hard on everything else. We'll work hard to be in that relationship with this person if they quote unquote tickle our fancy. We'll work hard on our careers. We work hard to save the money to buy our toys. We work hard to pay off debt. We work hard to build something that we consider to be important, but we will not work hard on ourselves because we tell ourselves it's too much work, right? And the thing about it is that we as men, sometimes our mindset is that we expect immediate results. So when we start doing the work and we're not seeing the result right away, we quit. We say to ourselves, this is not working, right? But if there's anything else that we need to get done, we work hard at it until we get it done. Guys, listen to this. We have to remember this, that personal development is not an event, it's a lifestyle. So it's something that you're going to commit to doing differently for the rest of your life. And that's when you're going to reap the benefits of that. An entitlement mentality doesn't take you there. So if you are a man and you are entitled, you are going to struggle to gain that psychological fortitude, psychological fitness. That is going to be a necessary thing to take you through the challenges. A man who have an entitlement mentality, right? He needs to work on living more in the moment and celebrating the wins in the moment, right? It's important for a person with a sense of entitlement to learn, right? To learn, guys, that, things that happen in your life now They were not meant to be a permanent structure. I can't reiterate that enough, right? It's important for someone to understand that you, if you're entitled, the way you handle past challenges may influence. Now, let's catch this, guys. The way you handle past challenges are going to influence the way you deal with present ones, right? The way you handle past challenges. And when someone has an entitlement mentality, we tend to live out our past in our present reality, right? We tend to live out our past in our present reality. That entitlement oftentimes make us say to ourselves, well, it never happened the last time. What reason do I have to believe that it's going to happen now? Right? But as you learn to live in the present and as you identify those negative experiences from the past, you use them as stepping stones to build yourself up, to grow, to shift your attention from who you were to who you are. You shift your attention from what was to focus on what is. You create a mindset that is going to give you now the edge on recognizing that, hey, the person that I used to be is not the person that I am right now. The things that once threw me for a loop is not doing that anymore. The fear that I once had, I've gotten past that fear, and I'm now celebrating the successes that I have gained through my experiences. So entitlement, guys, does not make us do that. But a winning mindset takes us now. A winning mindset helps us to create perspectives and potential out of perceived failures and disappointments, right? Let me say that again, guys. I want you to wrap your head around this piece that, a winning mindset helps us to create potential and perspective out of a perceived failure. So you can create new perspectives. And when we're entitled, we don't seek to do that. Okay, here's this next point. When someone has a sense of entitlement, they may benefit from practicing treating others with respect, compassion, and gratitude. So if you're a man and you're very entitled, if you're a man and you're very entitled, you will not be someone who's respectful to others. You'll not have compassion, and you will not be someone who shares and expresses gratitude. I'm saying to you that an entitlement mindset and a winning mindset, they are total opposite. Because you practice more of a winning mindset, you'll be genuinely kind to others. You will celebrate when somebody else wins. You will create a perspective, you'll create an environment where you're actually creating what we call sort of that magnet to steel, where persons are naturally drawn to you because the energy that you're giving off is not coming from an entitled place, but it's coming from a place of confidence. Confidence, not self centeredness. Let's not confuse the two. There's a difference from a guy that's confident and one that's self centered, right? An entitlement mentality creates self centeredness, selfishness, and we are lacking in the ability to be compassionate and kind to others. Someone who has a winning mindset, they're balanced. They know how to express and share and become kind and loving and gentle. And they're able to share who they are with others. Persons are, how do I say it, drawn to you. They are excited when you walk into the room, right? Persons are not silent and withdrawn, but when they see you, they see someone who is able to say, hey, I am human and I'm happy to be a part of this gathering. So, are you entitled, or are you someone who has a winning mindset? Listen, guys, I'm telling you this. If you're a man and you're entitled, you have got to chip away at that. You've got to work and confront that, because when you have a winning mindset, it helps to create a new way of living your life. And one of my viewers here on TikTok said this. I'm going to read it. He says that we got to have a good mindset and not a mad mindset. I love that. And you know what, my viewer, we're going to use that as our quote, okay, with your permission, my viewer, okay? Right, I'm crediting the source here, right? And I like it. And my viewer says, hey, we got to have a good mindset and not a mad mindset. That is our thought. That's what I want to reflect on today. And today I'm borrowing a quote from one of my live viewers on TikTok. Thank you for sharing that. Guys, listen, I want to encourage you to go and seek to practice, to live your life through the lens of a winning mindset. A winning mindset, right? That's the thing. Because remember, guys, that mindset makes a man or breaks a man. And the challenge and the decision is up to you. What is your mindset? Is it an entitled mindset or a winning mindset? And if it is an entitled mindset, I want to encourage you to challenge that, to shift it, to create a winning mindset. And guess what? Every single one of you, all of you that's here, I know that you possess the potential to be a winner, because you already have the seed within you. It's just for you to water it and prune it and bring it to the surface. This is your boy, your men's life coach, Rolando. Thank you for joining us here on the XY Spark podcast, the podcast for men, where we seek to normalize conversations about men's mental health. We invite you to join us again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we will seek to continue our conversations about men's mental health. In the meantime, we just want to remind you that at XY Spark, we believe that there is a spark in you. We will see you again tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Do have a fantastic day until then.